So we are now recording the March 2nd, 2018 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Good morning from Cal. Good afternoon.
Nor'easter on the East Coast, beautiful, or rainy on the West Coast. Even in California.
It is.
It's gorgeous here.
That's nothing new for you. So the storm passed you now. Yay.
No, she was north. She was south of it. It went north.
Okay.
I think the farthest south it went was Maryland and Virginia.
Okay.
Now we're in the middle of the pollen storm. There's like 2 inches of yellow pollen. It is. It looks like snow. Yellow snow.
Yeah, I've been there, seen that, and yes.
It's crazy.
Feel like you want to be one of those people with those things on, those masks on your face going out.
Yep.
Beep, beep.
So, Linda, today we're going to start with you. We're going to talk about your proposal and scope of work.
Yeah, this past week I had, or actually the week before, I had given a proposal to a company that I've been working with for probably a dozen years. I've worked with them, and they have 3 companies, and I was doing it for $750 a month, and I decided I was going to ask for an increase to $900, and the owner said no. And I realized I really didn't have much I could say to him. So I thought, well, I need to kind of clarify exactly what I'm doing and why I'm worth that amount of money.
So let's hear your screen.
I'm going to do that. So here it is. Here's what I kind of wrote up. Now, some of this part that's here to the right, where it says B and C statements and it lists all the statements, and this is something I happen to do with all of my clients, except that I usually I'll put a date in here and I'll say, these are the statements I need, have them printed out. I usually go to my clients' locations because they like to see me, and they're all within about 5-10 miles. So it gets me out of the house. So I had that already, but I thought, well, let me try to figure out how much, and I was going to encourage him. I was going to give him the link over to the ProAdvisor website and encourage him to check about getting prices from other people. So he has 3 company data files, all of which I set up, and they are set up well. One is Barnes and Company. There are 4 bank statements and 2 credit card statements, 6 total. And they're pretty good size bank statements, okay? Well, these 2, all you get is interest every month, so that takes what? 2 minutes for each statement to open it up, put the ending balance in and that. But like this one has like pages, 3-4 pages. This one has has like 5 pages. This one's probably just interest.
Are you doing reconciliations on those accounts?
I'm doing reconciling on all of them. I'm actually reconciling every month 14 statements. 6 for this company, 1 for this company, Lake Glass, and 7 statements for Clarence's personal. And I put down here 500, 150, and 400. I thought those were the cheapest price that they would get quoted by anyone to do that amount of work. And that would total $1,050. And I'm giving them the discounted rate of $800 if I do all your work. And so it would be $400 for this one, $100 for this one, and $300 for this one. That would add up to the $800. And I wanted to list what are the areas that you have to watch out for when you're working with these. Well, one of the things this particular boss does, the owner, he accidentally puts personal money into his business accounts. And then I have to make sure that he transfers that out and that he transfers exactly the same amount out of his business account, out of his personal, or back to the personal where it's supposed to be. Setting up new inventory items. If I'm not there to double check when they set up new inventory items, many times they set them up incorrectly. Then there's many inventory errors, and we're not quite sure why. We check it, we do counts, and it seems right, but then in a month or 2, everything's off. And then year-end accuracy, I guarantee. Also, for all these companies included in my price, I do 1099s. and there's a decent amount of 1099s for each of them. And this particular company, which is he buys homes, rehabs them, and then sells them. So it's like a house flipping thing. So there's a lot of little tricks with flipping properties and getting accurate names and accounts and the vendor names. He does not want to ever give a vendor name. He just wants to say subcontractor. I've talked to his tax preparer, and so, but that takes extra time to try to convince him to give me the vendor names. Otherwise, he's going to have to lie when he does his taxes and say he did 1099s when he didn't. If he's audited, he'll be in trouble. And then he has a personal account where he has 6 bank statements and a credit card statement. There, again, the business expenses, what he would do is he would take this personal company and he would pay for things that were really being done under this corporation. And that gets really tricky to account for properly and then transfer in and out. His mortgages, here he has 3 rental homes that he rents. So you have to keep track of the mortgages for them, the principals and the interest. So those are all the extra balance sheet accounts, rental houses, house value and mortgage balance, principal and interest accurate, new renters and rents. And that changes almost every month. And like last month, there was a deposit I just couldn't figure out. Well, he had given the renter a discount of like $235.10 because the washer and dryer didn't work. And it was like, it wasn't anything anybody could ever figure out on their own. And I'm trying, and it wasn't just me, but there's 3 ladies in the office, and they had to tracking the security deposits. They never like tell me ahead of time. Thank God I'm there every month, because I'll kind of say like, well, what's this extra money? Or, oh, that's right, we got new renters and there's new security deposits. And then tracking late rent payments. There's just a lot of things that really make extra work in all of these. So I was wondering, I wanted your opinion. What do you think? Do you think that now you have to understand, I'm in Southern California too, so maybe these prices are a little high.
I want to say that that's great, Linda.
No, actually, that's...
Yeah, you have something concrete to show them. And clients really do not, if you don't tell them what you do, they don't understand what you're doing. They know in their mind what they want. They know in their mind what they're doing, but they don't realize that they need to convey that information to you so that you can work efficiently and correctly. And,
right.
And when you come back and say you want to raise, they say, oh, no. But to be able to present something like this that shows them in a concrete format what you're doing for them really enhances your value.
Or they may be willing to take some off your plate to keep the same price.
Yeah, but in some instances, I don't know.
Some of it's going to be very hard for, like,
right.
The tax preparer could do some of it,
Mm-hmm.
but it would be the kind of mistakes he makes are almost impossible for a tax preparer to catch. I'm lucky to catch most of them. And the other thing that I'm always talking to this particular client about is the 2 corporations, which are Company 1 and Company 2. Their year end is September 30th. So they got October 1st to September 30th. They're both S Corps. And so the taxes get done earlier. And so the other thing, I got to add that over here. Here we have 3 company cars. There are 3 company cars. Or actually now there's 3 company cars, and now it actually has become 2 company cars. He used to have a Prius, a Maserati, and a Cadillac. He gets rid of the cars, and he never thinks to tell anybody.
Well, maybe.
And so, but I keep telling him, it's not your car. It's a company car.
Right. In his mind, it's his. But showing him
like
this,
it's just a company car to write it off.
may help him to realize why it's important that he tells you that. So maybe
Yeah,
you'll
so
even
we'll see how it works, but, and what I usually do is if he and I try to tell him, look, I don't personally care what you do, and I'm not doing it to be nosy. I'm doing it so your tax preparer can do the best possible job at getting you the least amount of taxes. And he's got 2 really good tax preparers. So when I feel that he's not really listening to me, I just talk to and I'm in communication with the 2 different tax preparers.
And that's awesome too. That's awesome.
I thought one of the things I might mention to them, especially if he ends up letting me go and getting someone else, I'm going to just send an email to the tech, because I'm going to let him know that if he does, I got that and I understand. But if he goes to somebody else and then brings me back within like 2 or 3 months, I might be willing to come back if he's willing to pay my price,
I think in that instance,
because I think he ends up being really unhappy, but we'll see because nobody will go out to his place for one thing.
Okay.
I don't think anybody.
Oh, you do all that and you do a visit?
Oh, I do all this. I do that there at their location.
My gosh, yeah, no, yeah, that's cheap.
So if he goes to someone else and asks you to come back, you have cleanup fees that you need to include in that.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I'll have to say, well, the first few months I'm going to have to do cleanup in that. So, and I'll have to make sure, I'll have to really try to
add that to your list.
Encourage him that if he does it, he needs to do it way before year end, because otherwise he's going to be in trouble at year end. I have to remind one of his 2 tax preparers that year end is September 30th. I should forget.
That's funny.
Anyway, it's fun. Look, I think it's time to move on to another subject.
Okay, Sarah is next. And Sarah's going to show us. Yeah.
There we go.
All right, so I'm going to
How to create an accounts receivable card as an icon on your desktop, on QuickBooks desktop.
Yeah, let's see here. Share my screen.
Okay. Totally awesome.
So
I've played around with customizing.
Do you see Rock Castle?
We're at Rock Castle,
Okay.
yes.
So I don't know how to do all the icons on the left. That just messes me up.
No, I just do the top one.
Yeah, I'll keep it on the left until I show you this trick, just in case people just use it the way it is right out of the box. But if you go to the chart of account, where is this thing?
No, you go to customers, you told me.
Well, my.
You said go to customers.
Let me start at the beginning and show you what the problem is.
Oh.
Go to the chart of accounts. Accounts receivable is 93,000. And
Right.
this is the normal view to accounts receivable. Now you can say one line and you can say open balance, okay? But you're not seeing a running total per day, and you're not. So anyway, if you're trying to figure out what a problem is, let me show you a trick. Go to customers and enter statement charges. What that does is it opens up a register just for one customer.
Yep.
And there it is with a running total, and there it is, one line with running total. So what I do is I use this a lot. So say I wanted to look at Abercrombie, I want to look at this guy, okay? So I take one, I just make one, and then I go up at the top. You can make all your own personal shortcuts that you want. So I go view, and you can add anything that's on the screen as a shortcut. So I'm going to add Abercrombie, except I'm going to name this
AKA
AR card, because I'm old school. That's what we used to have. One customer would have their own AR card, right?
Got it.
And then find a cute little picture. Okay. All right. So now it's over here under AR card. So if I'm home and a customer calls and they have a question, I just pop on that AR card and then just go pick the customer that's on the phone. And then you can see the invoices and their run-in balance and their payments and everything and adjustments. And it's just a really handy thing to do. And then I got to put this the way I like it. Okay, so I'll show you how I set up QuickBooks real quick.
Yeah, I do too.
Edit, preferences.
Desktop view.
Yeah, I always go press enter.
Okay.
I always turn these on.
Okay.
And I do desktop view one. Don't save the desktop so it doesn't have to build all the
Right.
reports the next day.
You want to
And then I'll pick,
switch to
you
the
know,
top.
I'll pick a color. And then the other thing I do is reports and graphs.
Oh, no, you didn't switch to the top icon bar.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm just doing what I do out of
Oh, you
habit.
go in the order you go in. Got it.
When I'm set up a user, I set these up without even thinking.
Got it.
Reports and graphs, prompt, general. You know, I set all that up. Say okay, and now go view top icon. Oh, I skipped a step. See, yeah.
I told you you did.
No. Yeah, I'll say desktop. I want color.
There you go.
And then most of these are commercials
Yep.
into it. So I go
Just get rid of all the commercials.
customize the icon, and I go to the top, and I go, like my company, only the owner or admin can even see that.
Right.
So, and these are just shortcuts. Income
Yep.
tracker, bill tracker, okay, whatever. I need my customers and my
Yeah,
vendors
you need your vendors.
and my payroll, and then everything after that
Yeah. You
commercial.
really don't need.
Commercials. Item list I don't need. Maybe a check bill, register. I do a different way.
Right.
Is that the chart?
That's the chart of accounts, I think.
Yeah. Is it? Look, delete.
It's your AR card is at the end.
Okay,
There
so
it is.
then always put, home.
Oh, there's two homes.
Yeah, I was playing.
Home and home.
Okay, so now,
Look at that.
is that the chart of
Beautiful.
accounts? Okay, and I pick up the checkbook, get it all pretty, change the color to match the checks because I'm anal like that. View, add the check, and I'll go checkbook, and I'll go down here and find a picture, the right color checks because I'm crazy like that.
Green, right? Yeah, there
Right.
you go.
So that's how I like to see my QuickBooks. I can't
Yep.
this stuff. Like, look at all this. Get out of my face. Okay. So, ta-da! Check
Nice.
AR card, chart.
Perfect.
That AR card.
Did you like
That
that?
is so cool.
Yeah, you know why it works really well with mine is because I'm bringing all of the AR in from another software. The name of my customer is just customers. So all of my customers, everything is there, the whole AR. It's not just one customer.
Well, it was real easy to see what the run and without having to pull up a balance sheet.
Yeah.
Because in order to see what the balance was at the end of every month, we were pulling up balance sheets. And I'm like, you know what? It's just one customer. Let's just go look over here.
Wonderful little tricks that you learn like that along the way. I mean, it makes it so much easier for your clients to actually use QuickBooks and understand what they're doing. And makes you look like a hero, too.
Yeah, and she saves people from making a lot of mistakes by making the colors of the check match the QuickBooks.
Yeah,
match
those
the colors of the
visual-
check and the checkbook match, and then the little icon matches. Little things like that. It's like people can do things much more automatically, and they don't. If they grab something and it's not the right color, they don't go, "Oh, this isn't right. I'm supposed to have the green checks," you know?
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And also, if you have a client that has like three different databases like you, I make them different colors.
Oh, yeah. I'm very visual.
Yeah.
So you can absolutely see which company you're in and
Right.
not mistakenly put something in a check register that belongs in another company.
Speaking of that, if you ever make a new company file, and so you still have the old company file for the history and everything, I go into where it says company info, you know, edit preferences or company info, and I changed the name of that company to do not use capitals dash in the name of the company. So even though the file name has the name of the company and the new file might say new whatchamacallit, when you open it, you only see what's hidden inside. And so I want people to see that. Now, if they don't look at it, you're still in trouble. But I always point that out to people that these are tricks. So when you make a mistake, it kind of hits you in the face, and you go like, oh no, that's not what I wanted to do, and then you fix it. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, it's fun.
Okay, couple little mention things. Sarah,
Yeah.
your list is still alive.
I know. Who was it bought out by? Microsoft?
Intuit. I'm sorry, not Intuit. Microsoft. You're right.
And usually they kill stuff like that, but so far it's still working.
Maybe they're listening to us. You think?
Oh.
I'm hoping, because I know that they got a big backlash as soon as they bought it, and people said, "Oh, please don't Microsoft it."
Well, what they're trying to do is migrate people to their product. They've got a product that competes with it, which I haven't used.
What's it called? Do you?
I can't remember, but I know that was the intent, that they were.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they're going to rip off the technology or what. So, but I haven't used that. I don't think I would go with Microsoft. I mean, they tend to. The only thing I like about Microsoft is Access and Excel.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you. It's a different story when you go bigger, like healthcare facilities or big government facilities. Microsoft does have software for those facilities, and life is different in the bigger.
So I think it was like about 12 years ago, I helped write the certification exam for Microsoft accounting program, with the MPAN network. And the person that was facilitating the exercise was saying he used to be a former employee, and he said Microsoft was like a mother that had a lot of screaming kids, and they'd all be screaming for resources. And what I've noticed about Microsoft is they tend to abandon things. So,
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, like Microsoft accounting, for one thing, that only lasted about 3 years. I mean,
That's because nobody used it.
it actually had some good features, but they
It
just couldn't.
did, but it was very confusing. I used it too, Dennis, and it was if you made a mistake, it was extremely difficult to fix that mistake because you had to use journal entries. They had hard closing, like
That's big boy software.
at the time. Peachtree was like that. Peachtree, once you close the period, you cannot make any more changes. You have to make a journal entry to do anything.
Yeah.
And the Microsoft program was like that too, only when you would make the journal entries, they didn't seem to do what you wanted them to do. So,
Well, I mean, Intuit's becoming that way too, in terms of starting things and then either abandoning them or changing the rules or whatever.
well,
So
Intuit does it with the add-on programs. Like, tried several times to do document attachments, and they've thrown away so many of them programs that now when they bring that on, everybody says, who wants to do that? Because
it just makes you I mean, like with PTO, I'm very reluctant to use their add-in products because I don't know how long it's going to be.
How long are they going to last? They'll be abandoned.
Yeah, why invest in it and then all of a sudden find that, it's going away.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. So QBO just put out a new update. They're now using the word check, CHEQUE, instead of the Americanized version, CHECK.
So Sarah, you're going to have to change your checkbook on your icon on your.
No, I'm not.
I think they're trying to get more international.
Larry
Using
just put out
international
the
language.
desktop update.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Well, they tried to fix their bank transfers between bank accounts, and that failed. The fix did not fix it. Now they give you multiple choices, and unless you know exactly how it was entered in the other bank register, you're going to get duplicate transactions. So big fail. So, and the last thing we wanted to talk about was Accountex now has podcasts. They allow you to register for the Accountex, and then it looks like they're going to give the breakout sessions in a podcast.
Really? So you don't have to fly up there?
So you don't have to fly up there. So I went into the registration, but I stopped when they said, how much do you make a year? I didn't want to tell them that, and that was a required field. So
Oh, wait a minute. I'm on the board. What does it say?
I'm going to have to put a link in and get back to you on that.
They're trying to
Go
see
to the
how much is your
registration.
company. They're
How
trying
much-
to figure out what your revenue level is on your company.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
not like some range like 0 to 500,000 or.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, you get ranges, but still, I'm not volunteering that information. Thank you very much.
Weird.
Yeah.
So you can register for free now, which kills me because I paid what, $360 for my membership.
But all you're getting is a podcast. I don't know. We'll have to see what they're like. You know, are
So
we
they're
getting this talking, or are we actually getting the visual also?
So are they becoming like
Speaker
Joe Woodard?
podcast. There it is.
your Joe Woodard's, virtual QuickBook conferences like on the.
Actually, I like his virtual conferences.
I do too.
Oh yeah, I do.
I
do
like
too.
them too, but I also like the real ones where I see people face to face.
Yeah.
Well, I think when Sleater left, I think that they just bought it for the convention business. I don't think they,
It's a whole different thing now.
Yeah, I mean, is there even a Sleater? There's not even a Sleater group anymore,
No,
is
there's
there?
nothing to do with Sleater anymore. It's now Accountex.
Yeah.
So Misha,
Well-
Misha's with us. Hi, Misha.
Where?
Yeah.
Hi.
How are you? How are you doing up there in up
Uh,
near?
I'm okay. I was relaxing, and then I had to get up and get back into the office and log onto the computer. But the lights keep flickering, so I didn't want to run the computers. You know what I mean? Even though I'm plugged into a surge protector,
Yeah.
I just didn't want to chance it.
Don't risk it.
So, yeah, but I was like on the thing, and I said, "Oh, you're still here," and I'm like, "Oh, let me see if you're still on."
Well,
So
glad you jumped on to join us. We only have about another minute or two left. We're
I thought you go to 6. Oh, see, I've been gone so long, I don't even know what's
we
going
have a
on.
new format that we're using, and we are only recording for a half an hour. And then we
Good.
have our little special meeting where we can talk about anything any way we want to after.
It seems like
So it's still 5:30 to 6 for recorded,
Right.
then 6 to 5.
Whenever.
Oh, gotcha.
Whenever we get done yakking.
Bye.
seems like the meetings actually go longer in total.
I know. Well, that's because we drove and just yakking afterwards and
Don't have to worry about
How hungry we are. things to do.
Yeah, but we
We're
have the prep,
organized too.
we have the prep meeting from 5 to 5:30.
Right. And we talk about
Oh.
what we're going to actually be speaking about.
Oh, cool.
And that way I can put in the description what we talk about too.
Oh,
Right.
cool. Nice. Again, it's tax season, so
I know.
Yeah.
Hard to think about anything else. but
by the time I look up, I'm like, oh man, I missed it.
Well, I'm glad you made it this week.
I can't believe it's March already.
I know, right? We're going to end on this note. We're going to end our recording. So we will see everyone in the public next week, same time, same place.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.